Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Neurodiverse. Masha says I'm your host, John Navarro, and boy, Slammiversary was insane. Guys, we got multi-man ladder spots, a controversial end to both historic matches, a historic thing in the making, and set up future rivalries and future returns. Yes, we got some returns tonight as well. So let's get right into it. Guys, we had about 3 matches on the pre-show. Yes, 3. It was only announced 2, but we had 1 surprise match, and it was actually really, really good. So the first match on the card was the Elegance brand versus the Inspiration for the Knockouts tag team titles, and it was really good. Inspiration came out in all cheetah print. The Elegance brand always shows up and delivers. So they came out as the Statue of Liberty, one of my favorite outfits of the night. Okay, Ashton had her given Statue of Liberty, given USA realness. It was classic back and forth, broken into chaos mid-match. The Inspiration does a double Inspiration kick, the combo kicks. That was really good. But Maggie Lee, aka M from Elegance, interferes and Ass hits a Swanton bomb to steal the win. And I think it's a really good match. And later in the night, the Inspiration tells the Elegance brand, you want to play number games, huh? We're going to get someone on our side. What? So we have to wait to see who the Inspiration brings us back up. That's really interesting. And then we just get a surprise match of Hometown Man and Eric Young. Eric Young comes out mad because he's like, I'm not at Slammiversary. I'm one of the TNA OGs. Like, what the hell is going on? Also, Hometown Man is literally Chris Island. Like, it's obvious, guys. And then Hometown Man comes up. They brawl. It was a quick fight. Army tries to interfere. That backfires. And Hometown Man gets this sneaky roll up. And then later in the show, Eric Young tells his boys if he doesn't step up, he will have reinforcements. What? I guess more people are coming to TNA soon. And then, guys, we got a crazy match, okay? We got Macklin, Jake something, Mance Warner versus Fourth Ropes. Yes, Fourth Ropes is the wrestling promotion. Real one, that's Enzo Amore. Zilla Fatu, who was actually really impressive in this match, is Josh Bishop. Steph and Macklin, everyone looked good. Real one came out, calling Macklin Captain America. The crowd, he was like making fun. He called him Captain America. He called Jake something the rejected Looney Tune. And Warner just a bootleg, like Tasmanian Devil. It was actually pretty funny. The match was good. Multi-man chaos, like literally, like most of the match was multi-man action. But at the end, Warner accidentally hits Jake and Real One steals the win. So I guess Fourth Rope wants to evade TNA too, because they say they will be back. So we have to see how all of that plays out. And that's pretty much the pre-show. Let's go on to the main card. So we start the show off. I'm not surprised they started off with this match. Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. It was fast, technical, personal, suplexes. Oh my God. The way Alexander was hitting some of his suplexes. Ali does some really cool high flying. Alexander does a move throwing Ali and himself into order 4. It was crazy. Some hard-hitting moves. A 460 by Mustafa Ali, like his moves, like Tasha Steelz tries to interfere. She gets rejected from the ref, so she's out of the match. Cedric hits a cutter and then a super suplex. But that's a 2 count. And then Tasha Steelz tried to come in with a chair. No. Cedric hits her with his finisher, and then Ali jumps on him with the 460 splash for the win. That was a crazy ending. It was best storytelling of the night with that match, especially with those two having that rivalry in the history together. You could really see it in the match, and it was really good. Then we got the System and Matt Cardona versus DarkState. The System looked like Iron Man. I loved it. Like, they all came out looking like Iron Man. Matt Cardona went full Zack Ryder 2.0 with a little bit of his inspiration for his gear. Straight up chaos. Okay. Alyssa Edwards gives JDC a chair, and he uses the chair as a launching pad, jumping into DarkState, table bombs, mid-air clashes, cutters, rodeo silence. It was just chaos. And then at the end, Zack Ryder hits a rodeo silence, and then Eddie Edwards with the Boston Knee Party for the win. DarkState is a breakout group of the night. I felt like they did really good. Sugar really stood out to me. Sugar and Leon was the breakouts from that group. But it was a really good match. Now on to some women's action. So then we get the match of Tessa Blanchard and Indy Hartwell. It felt more like heel versus heel. I'm going to say it's a good match, but I feel like Indy Hartwell is such a good heel because of her moveset. Like, yeah, she's a babyface, but the way she moves in the ring and stuff was really heel-like. And Tessa was using mind games, targeting the knee. Indy gets in with the do not hurt it off the ropes for the win. But it was some really cool spots in the match. How, like, Indy and Tessa did the top rope move, and then Tessa, her top rope code breaker is always really cool to see. But then after the match, Indy gets interviewed, and Tessa goes full villain, attacking Indy and the interviewer, and throwing the interviewer head into the steel steps. Security gets her out, and then Santina Marella suspends her for a bit. That's crazy. I guess the storyline is still building, and I guess they're working with the real heat of Tessa Blanchard. It's really interesting to see how that all plays out. Then we got a winner-takes-all match with high stipulations. We have Masha Slamovich with the Knockouts Championship and Jacy Jayne with the Women's NXT Championship match. Whoever wins leaves with both titles. Yes. Historic making. Both women came out swinging. Masha had one of my favorite gears. He was like red and white with blood splatters. It was really cool and badass. They came out swinging really good, back and forth. I feel like Jacy Jayne held herself in the match really good. She put in some good offense. Masha did some good moves. But then Jasmine and Fallon interfere, so Zaya and Lei Ling interfere to take out Fatal Influence. Jacy Jayne hits Masha with the TNA title, but that's a kick out. And out of nowhere, Jacy Jayne bumps Masha into the turnbuckle, and then she hits a rolling punch for the win.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, I'm kind of like conflicted. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Jacy Jayne is growing on me, but like having WWE had both TNA titles now, like, what did this mean for TNA? Also, it kind of make Masha look a little weak because Masha's such a powerhouse, and like losing to someone with Jacy with the number advantage. It makes sense, but at the same time, it's like Masha could have just won. That's just my opinion. It was a pretty good match, no matter what. And still game changing at the end of the day. And then, bruh, we had my favorite match of the night, okay? This was my favorite match of the night. We had Moose versus Leon Slater for the X Division Championship. It was special as history making because if Moose won, he would be becoming the longest reigning X Division champion. If Leon Slater won, he'd be the youngest X Division champion. So it was both historical stakes high. Leon came out looking like a comic book character, like the whole gear, the face, the arm paint. And Moose came out with a king. Like, he came out with a throne. Everything. It was really cool. The match was fire. Top rope, Swanton 50, a code red. Paracaranas to Moose on the outside of the ring, taking him down little by little. Brutal near falls. Moose spearing Leon during the middle of the air, like frozen. Like, he literally almost broke him in half. But Leon fights back, picking up Moose, dropping him with a blue thunderbomb, a spear, and then the twist of fate, the Swanton 450 for the win. The crowd was crazy. I was crazy. It was a really good match. And then after, AJ Styles returned to hand the torch over to Leon, saying that he is the reason that the X Division is still alive, and AJ is so proud. And AJ is happy that someone like Leon is carrying the TNA legacy. I thought that was nice. I thought that was nice, and I liked how AJ Styles came, but he didn't like have a surprise match or nothing. It was like really simple. We don't know if AJ Styles would be on TNA next week, but it's really nice. It's like a nice little like settle thing. And then we get the ladder match, and boy, the ladder match was fun as hell. It was just, it was crazy. Like, everyone came out all dripped out. Everyone looked good. Right away, the Memphis come in with a ladder. They get taken out. The Hardys just hitting everyone with a ladder. Okay. Each person try to get up the ladder. Each person fails. It's funny. AJ pushes one of the Rascals off the ladder, and then Casey Navarro is knocked out on the ladder on ringside. So Casey is looking at AJ like, oh my God. And then the person, one of the Rascals fall on Casey, putting them through a ladder. And AJ's checking on his friend like, oops, I didn't mean to like drop someone on you. The chaos. Ryan Memphis is screaming he's the best ladder match person ever. And then everyone jumps the hell out of him and beats him up with ladders. AJ Francis, almost 7 feet tall, I think almost 200 or something pounds, does a backflip, crushing everyone in the ring. The way that everyone looked at terrified. He crushed everyone in the ring. And then the Hardys was making death traps. Okay, Hardys was laying out multiple ladders on ringside. The Hardys was literally trying to kill people. AJ, Casey Navarro, almost everyone was on the ladder, and Casey Navarro jumps from the top rope, kicking everyone off the ladder, so everyone is knocked the hell out. Back in the ring, it's a climb back for the ladders. The Hardys push most of the men off, so all of the men go flying on the outside, and AJ goes through the ladders. But he goes through, not like laying down, he goes through, because he's standing up, so like, ow, what? And then the Hardys put the Rascals, and then Jeff is crazy. Jeff just do 2 Swanton bombs on a ladder sandwich. And then out of nowhere, Jeff calls in, oh, all the ladders are broken. Call in the SWAT team. Yes, I guess Jeff Hardy is a part of the secret agents or FBI, because he just drops a goddamn ladder, one of those like spy ladders. And then the Memphis are trying to fight back, and then they have to put the Memphis, beating them with steel chairs and putting them through a ladder or 2. And then Jeff climbs up like a secret spy agent to win the titles. It was crazy. It was fun. I was laughing. It was like so fun. Like having a match like that was so fun and crazy. And then Billy Ray comes out. Yes, Bubba Ray Dudley, Billy Ray in TNA comes out, and he announces he wants a match at Bound for Glory. One more time, Team 3D versus the Hardys. What? That was just the icing on the cake. And it's crazy. And I can't wait to see how that all blows out. And then, guys, we get the main event. And the main event was really good. It's a surprise ending that I think a lot of people didn't expect, but I kind of like how they did it, because it was just out of the blue. We came, Whoop That Trick was a whole choir. Yes, Trick had a whole orchestra choir. They did a legendary Whoop That Trick. Okay, the high notes, low notes. Mike and Joe came in. The crowd was hot. Right away, Trick was gloating. So Joe and Mike literally beat the hell out of him. Became a 2-on-1. But then it turned into a three-way war. So Trick jumps over Mike. Mike spears Joe Hendry. Power bombs, a top rope madness. So like literally Joe picks up Trick, and then Mike does like a code breaker. So it's a power bomb code breaker combo. It was crazy. A lot of three-man, really cool three-man moves. But then Frankie interferes. He gets kicked out of the ring because Frankie Kazarian was right ringside. He was mad. Trick, they all go diving, and Trick gets injured. So we think Trick is done because Trick is getting carried away by medical. Joe Hendry hits the glorious chokeslam, and Mike Santana hits 2 rolling buck 50s. So we think, okay, and each one is kicking out. So we're like, okay, these are the only 2 left. Trick is getting pulled away. He looks worried. But out of nowhere, Mike Satana hits an unrolling buck 50, try to take the pin, and Trick out of nowhere super kicks him, throws him into the ring post, and then steals the pin, and then runs out the ring. What? Trick faked his injury. It was so good how he faked it because he was just on the ringside, a bunch of medical. He was getting dragged away. It was so good because we really thought Trick Williams was injured. The swerve that Trick did was really cool. The whole locker room is furious. He have a target on his back. Not just that, Jacy Jayne too, because let's be honest, TNA locker room ain't happy that their guys and girls lost to some WWE talent. So we have a war brewing. The war is about to explode. Tonight was just like the first act of the war. TNA, NXT kind of came in, did some damage, but TNA is going to come back to the war with bigger firearms. And we see that tonight. The VIPs, the MVPs of the night, I'm going to need to give it to Leon Slater. That man was entertaining as hell. He's a breakout star. He's a future star. I can see him being a really good baby face at the top of TNA. Like, he can be that breakout star that everyone talk. That match with Moose needs to be talked about. DarkState was the breakout group match, I will say, because they did really good and they really surprised me. AJ Francis is one of my favorites. Because the way that he's a big man and he could do some of these moves, like AJ Francis did the backflip of the year or the what the F moment of the year. Him on the top rope doing that backflip is engraved in my brain. And the way that everyone was screaming when he jumped, the crowd, just what? Then best gear has to go to the Elegance brand. Come on, they was in New York dressing like Statue of Liberty. Iconic. And Mustafa Ali with royal green and gold looking very like royalty-like. The system with Iron Man gear. And then Masha Slamovich with her red, white, and blood beast, like with her polar bear skin and stuff. It was really cool and badass. And the matches, my favorite matches, or the top matches I feel like was the best, was Alexander and Mustafa Ali, Leon Slater and Moose in the ladder match. I was a little disappointed on the main event just because I felt like they rushed it and I didn't like it. I felt like the main event was rushed because they needed to put so much time in some other matches, and that's fine. It's just like the main event was also one of my favorite matches. I just wish they had a little more time. But guys, what did this mean? We have Shri D back in TNA. We have the Inspiration calling for reinforcements against the Elegance brand. Is Matt Cardona part of the system now? Tessa Blanchard got suspended because she's beating the hell out of everyone. Is Ali and Alexander still going to fight? And also, what the hell is going to happen next week on NXT and TNA? Because now Jacy Jayne and Trick Williams have the TNA titles. Are we going to get an invasion on NXT? We just have to wait to see. And what did this mean by AJ Styles coming back? Is he going to actually get back in the ring, or is it more like a one-time appearance? We have to wait to see. But I'm going to say this now. Slammiversary did change the game in multiple ways and really elevated the rest of the year of TNA and a little bit of NXT, because we're going to see a lot of back and forth, and I cannot wait to see NXT stars on TNA and vice versa. I can see a lot of them going back and forth, and I cannot wait for the multi-man explosion of it all. So hopefully you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys next time.